Go. All set?
Awesome. Cool. So I realized this morning that I signed up for a team call like a couple months ago, which is something that I find myself doing when I'm doing like really well in my business. I'll go to the team page and I'll sign up for a team call because it just helps me like stay accountable. And even though I'm a fallen diamond and I've been in this business for 5 years, sometimes I like get ahead of myself and I'm like, oh, like there's nothing that people can learn from me. And then I catch myself and I'm like, no, that's not the right mindset to have. And mindset is always like my go-to thing that I love, like just talking about or teaching people new like mindset activities to do. And also like for the past 6 months, I joined a entrepreneur mastermind within Portland. So a lot of these tools that I'm going to share with you guys have come from that. I also work one-on-one with like a life coach for the past 6 months. So some of the things come from that as well. So I just wanted to share with you guys some of these newer things that I've learned over the past 6 months that aren't our typical podcasts or books. Thank you. Podcasts, books, audiobooks, or something that like maybe we would learn from the National Wake Up Call, just kind of outside the box stuff. If any of you guys are Tony Robbins fans, you may notice some of this stuff does come from him. But also grab a pen and paper because we're going to do a couple activities because I just don't know how to do a team call without doing an activity. It's like my thing. But one of the things that I've always believed, you know, if you have a positive mindset, you have a positive life. But for so long, I always just waited for things to happen. And so I was just like manifesting and then I was done. I would just wait for the universe to like show up and give me what I wanted. But I always felt like I was missing that 20% of your strategy or action steps that you needed to take to really kind of like show up and prove to the universe that you really want the stuff that your mindset is set on. But knowing that 80% of your mindset is what's going to get you to that 100% results, it just kind of like blows my mind because it's so true. Like if you guys, you know, put some of these action steps into place and, you know, keep that 80% like focus and then take your 20% action, you will be like so blown away by the results you're going to have. Another thing that I love, I'm also a big quote junkie. So this whole thing is like full of quotes. So sorry, I didn't like put anybody's name who actually said these quotes. So I don't know. But how you do anything is how you do everything. So this is something that always brings me back to when we took our trip to Destin for Diamond. And it was like one of my biggest takeaways when we were doing a workout on the beach. And Ryan was leading it and he was saying, how you push in your workout is how you push in your business. And I find that so true because, you know, if you're, you know, but not pushing it during your workout, are you really pushing in your business? So how you do anything is how you do everything. So we're not going to do this activity, but we got like 6 activities that we're actually going to do. But this one is meditating, EFT or tapping, and gratitude. These are 3 things that I think, whether you're a coach, entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, if you want to be a nice human and move on from your past like struggles, you need to meditate, you need to do a little tapping, and you need to practice gratitude. It really just helps clear your mind. And the EFT tapping, I know this might be something you're not too familiar with, but it's almost like a self-action that you can do yourself. It almost links to like acupuncture, but you're like pressure points. So I have 2 apps for you guys to download. The first one, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but it's called Insight Timer. This is for your meditation. It's free. You have 15,000 free meditations that you can do. The reason why I love this so much, like obviously I'm still a Gabby fan for sure, but this really just breaks it up by how much time you have. If you literally only have 2 minutes, there's meditations for 2 minutes. If you're struggling with, you know, breaking that connection from like somebody from your past, you can do like a cord cutting meditation. Or if you're like, my boyfriend was snoring the other night and I fell asleep, so I put on a sleeping meditation. So there literally is a meditation for everything on here, and it really just helps like stop that thinking inside your head. The tapping app is called Tapping Solutions. I'm not sure if you can see this. It's this like blue and green little swirl. I don't know. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. But this will walk you through how you tap. And it's basically like a pressure point on the side of your hand, your eyebrow, the side of your eyes, underneath your eyes, under your nose, your chin, your collarbone, and then under your arms. But those, it really helps with anxiety. I struggle sometimes with like breathing, like if I get really anxious, I can't catch my breath. And doing tapping EFT has really helped with that. With that, you also have like how to release anxiety, how to focus on releasing money fears. My favorite is how to have a productive day. So tons of free tapping, and they literally will walk you through, they'll say like eyebrow, side of eye, under eye. So awesome for beginners. Oh, gratitude. Join my free little Facebook group. I am grateful. I've slacked the past week or so, but we're getting back onto it. But every morning I post in there like a gratitude quote, and I'll just have you write like 3 things that you're grateful for. And it really just lets the universe and yourself know that you are grateful for what you have. Therefore, you're showing appreciation, and the universe will give you more things to be grateful for. So head on over to Facebook and ask to be in my group, and I'll approve you, and it'll be great. These 3 activities literally take less than 20 minutes. So either wake up 20 minutes earlier, you can break it up like anything else we do with our business throughout the day. But it's a good midday break or before you go to bed. I love a good morning, but I'm finding that when I focus more on my nighttime routine, I'm having a better morning. So if you are, doing your grateful list at night or you're meditating at night, you'll sleep better, and therefore you'll be more excited to wake up in the morning and tackle your day. So what's new and good? This is an activity we're going to do together. This one here is really just to make yourself proud. It's very easy to get caught up in things that we don't do, but we never really take the time to recognize the things that are new and good happening in our life right now. This is something that you can do weekly, daily, weekly, or monthly. And really just anytime before you do any work. You can also just add this right after you do your gratitude list. So go ahead and grab your little paper and just write down 3 things that are new and good in your life right now. Obviously with this being like a team call, you do want to keep all of this, tangled around your Beachbody business. So, are you proud of yourself for posting today? Are you proud of yourself for, being proof the product works? Are you proud of yourself for sending out invites? But just writing down 3 things that you're proud of yourself for. And feel free to share them in the little chat box too, but this is really also for you to write them down. I'm also, I know I've said this before, but I'm a big fan of actually writing. I remember like in high school, my English teacher always had pen and paper, and he said that your brain just remembers more when you're writing it down. So I find that doing a lot of personal development stuff, writing it down has really helped it sink in and make it more real. So things that you can do at home when you're, not on this team call is just designate one journal for this and date the page. So that way, I love looking back and seeing, what was new and good in December. And then keep it simple, just 5 things every day that are new and good. And then reading them out loud to yourself after you've written them down. All right, I'm not gonna go into that chat box because I know I will totally get sidetracked. So I'm just gonna keep moving on. All right, so fuck these fears list. This is a fun one to do. So fear, I feel has multiple little things that it stands for, but one that I found today was face everything and rise. I'm on a big Rachel Hollis kick right now, so the rise thing just obviously totally stuck out to me. This is something you can do daily, monthly, or quarterly. I'm not really sure why I even put how often, because this is stuff you can do whenever. Also, letting go of fears is a fun full moon activity to do. Full moon, you want to release things. But you can also reread this list before you sit down to do any work. So this is an activity we'll at least get started right now. But just grab a piece of paper and pen, number 1 through 10, and then fill in 10 things that you think you are fearful of right now. And then just grab a big Sharpie, and over your list of 10 things, you're literally just going to write "fuck these fears" on it, because they're not true. They're just things that are holding you back. And then when you're done with that, just hang that paper somewhere that you can see it every day. If you hang it in front of a mirror and actually like read it out loud to yourself, you get bonus points. And my why right now. I love that Katie mentioned this at Super Saturday when she was talking. I'm not even really sure what she was talking about, but and she was saying that your why right now, because it always is changing. Katie is like full proof, you know, one of her whys was, I think marriage came first, and then their house, and now the baby, and getting out of debt last year was a big why for her, but her why has always evolved. And I love that, because I feel like I've always struggled with my why, because it's always like one big mountain. So I never have like those small steps. And so breaking it down to what is your why right now? Like for me now, it's I want a new vehicle. So I said this to John the other day, I need to set a date so that way it's easier for me to strive for that. So what is your why right now? And how often you can change your why, you know, once you reach your goal, or monthly, quarterly, or life events, you know, like Katie has done. Reading this before you do any work is going to help you get into that mindset of why you are doing this business. So your action steps zone in on short-term life goals and how Beachbody can help you get there. A lot of this why is going to be kind of more money driven. We'll get into the mission statement next. But, you know, this is a business, you are making money. So don't be scared to put like, you know, one of your whys is to make $3,000 for your down payment on a car. This is getting out of your head and into your heart. Like, what is it that you are craving to be added into your life? Write it in your own handwriting. I know I just said that, but, you know, in your own handwriting really just makes it more personal for yourself. And then again, post it somewhere where you will see every day. I have, it's like this size. This isn't my why at all, but just something like this, and writing it like on a pretty piece of paper, and then keeping it on your desk. That way it's right there in front of you. So your mission statement is a little bit different than your why. This is really just about who you are as a coach and who you are trying to help. I think that for me, I wrote monthly just because every time I do a new challenge group, I feel like maybe I'm helping a different kind of girl. So reading your mission statement, you're going to want to do this, you know, before you're inviting, before you're sending follow-ups. That way you can keep that person in mind before posting in challenge groups, before posting about challenge groups or coaching opportunity on social media. So these are the 5 things that you want to write down on your piece of paper, and then kind of like fill in each question or each section. This one will definitely take a little bit more time. So, you know, obviously write these 5 things down, but don't feel like you need to do this activity right now. But who are these ladies that I'm helping? So, you know, think about who you were before Beachbody. Why do they need me most? What was it that you were craving in your life? What are the results that you can give them? So how do you feel now? And then your mission. This, for some reason, just always reminds me of like doing the Pledge of Allegiance before like class every day, but it's saying that to yourself right before you sit down. So that way it's, you know, really where you're leading. And then why am I doing this? So, you know, it is about money. It is a business, but, you know, why do you want to create that ripple effect and help other people feel happy and healthy like you do? So this is an activity that we are going to do together. It's called a TRIAD. This is a Tony Robbins activity. I do have mine. I'm going to show you. Nice and big. So what you're going to do is get a blank piece of paper and you're going to make a triangle on your paper and try to do it like a little bit bigger so that way you can hang this up later. And think of your most successful moment in your coaching career. And then think of a word that describes how you felt in that moment and write it in the middle. So some examples could be, you feel proud. That's mine currently. You feel confident, you feel strong, you feel empowered. So go ahead and write that word in the triangle there. And what you can also do too is later, if you want to make it fun and pretty, is you can like put a picture of yourself in there as well. And then on the left side, you're going to write focus and belief. So this is what you were actually feeling during that moment that you felt most successful in your business. So for example, mine was one day last spring when I was working at Joan and Ryan's house, and I signed 3 coaches in one day. So that was a proud moment that I had. So I always want to try to bring myself back to that moment. And so for me, I was having fun. It was springtime, so it was like fresh air. What else do I have? I felt knowledgeable. I felt confident. I knew what I was talking about. I felt like a leader. And then on the bottom is where you want to write your physiology. So what was your body doing? Were you sitting? Were you standing? Were your hands moving? I'm a hand talker, so I feel like my hands are always moving. Were you smiling? What were your eyes doing? And then what were you like wearing? Like what was your physical body doing? So I'll give you a minute or two. And then on the right side, this is your language. So you're going to write about like 8 or 10 things, and they're gonna all start with I am. So mine were I am happy, I am smart, I am successful, I am clear, I'm knowledgeable, I'm fun, I'm excited, I'm energized, I'm sharing. So once you finish that, you just, again, want to post it somewhere that you're going to see every day. This is obviously like diagonal from my desk, so I see it every day. And also, like, don't be scared to post this stuff around your house. If a spouse sees this, I remember when I first started posting all this stuff up around the house, like Chris and the boys were like, what the heck are you doing? But I feel like not only is it helping me believe this stuff, it's helping me step out of my comfort zone and let other people know what I'm working on. It also helps them, know that they can also grow their mindset as well. All right, so with this activity, you want to at least pick 3 to 5 of these I am little statements and repeat this to yourself. So Tony does recommend that you do this 15 times a day, and I know that sounds like a really aggressive number. When I'm like really on my A game, what I do is I'll set a timer for every hour. So when the timer goes off, I remind myself to just close my eyes and take like a hot second to repeat those I ams to myself. And, obviously like with work and stuff, it is going to be a little bit harder, but maybe it's setting that timer like during your drive home, or setting that timer, right after dinner, or right before you, or after you put the kids to bed or something like that. But just at least doing it 5 times will definitely help you get back into that feeling. So setting SMART goals. I'm sure you guys have probably heard this at one point, but it's really being specific about your goals. Instead of just saying, I'm going to go elite this year. What does that mean? Like, what are the steps that I need to take this year to actually hit elite? Is it specific? So, is it I am a 5-star diamond coach that has gone elite? Is it measurable? Like, how many coaches do I need underneath me? How many PV points, and etc. Is it achievable? If this was a goal that I was setting, middle of November, it's probably not achievable or realistic, but where it's, you know, the beginning of April, it most certainly is. And then timely, you know, by December 31st. And I really recommend that you do this, you know, like set an April SMART goal, or a quarterly, I believe it's June 6th is the cutoff for what you are getting recognized at Summit. So setting a SMART goal in your timely could be June 6th. And then again, post this everywhere that you will see every damn day. It was way more fun when I wrote it than I actually said it, but that's okay. And so RPM, this is another Tony thing. This is when you feel like totally overwhelmed with like a to-do list. And if you're like me, if I have like a really long to-do list, I like almost like freak out and I'm like, oh my God, I'm too busy. Like I can't even do anything. And I almost feel like stuck. So this has really helped me with this, with like that overwhelmed feeling. So what you're gonna wanna do for this activity is you want 3 different columns on your paper. And then it's not like RPM, it's M-R-P, like that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with the R column, which is results, excuse me. And under results is where you're gonna write your SMART goal. So after you come up with your SMART goal, that's where you're gonna put it. And then in column P stands for purpose. And this is going to be, why is this SMART goal important to you? And, you know, once you get through, you know, why is it important to you? Because I'll feel successful, because I'll help, you know, X amount of people, I'll make X amount of money. Then you're going to write down who else is this SMART goal going to impact. And this can be the girls that I'm helping get signed up, the girls in my challenge group, you know, other people on my team. It's going to affect Chris, it's going to affect the boys, like we'll have more money, we'll be able to do more things. So really like stretch yourself with this, who is this, like why is this SMART goal going to impact them? And just keep going why and who else and who else and who else until you can like, till you feel like you can't find anyone else that is affected by the ripple effect. And then you're gonna go to M, and I don't even remember what M stands for, like now that I'm thinking about it. I think it's MAP, but we're gonna go with MAP. But this is where you're gonna like brain dump all your to-do list. And it can be like, set up Coach Sneak Peek group, post about Coach Sneak Peek groups, and invites about Coach Sneak Peek group. Set up challenge group, invite X amount of people, or you know, create new images and take new photos. Literally everything that is in your mind that is stopping you from starting this goal. And then what you're gonna do is circle the top 3 things that you're gonna do first that are gonna get you at least one step closer to your SMART goal. And you're gonna work with those 3 things. And then once you finish those 3 things, then you can pick 3 more. But it's really just breaking down your to-do list without feeling like you need to do everything in one day, which is like totally guilty over here that I do. And then this is something that you're gonna wanna keep in front of you. I do recommend like taking a red marker and at least circling your SMART goal, so that way every time you look at your RPM, your eyes go straight to your goal first, and then you wanna go read through the purpose and then go to your map section and, you know, start tackling your 3 to-dos. So C.A.N.I, this one is constant and never-ending improvement. So we're never all going to be perfect. It's always going to be about like continual improvement on ourselves. So this one, you're just going to write out 2 things that you're proud of yourself for doing that day. And then write out 1 thing you wish you worked harder on, and then write out 3 action steps you will take to improve on that 1 thing that you should have worked harder on. Because it's not about beating ourselves up that we didn't put that post up the day before. It's about, okay, what 3 action steps can I take today to make sure that I get that post up today? Or if you didn't send out those invites yesterday, what are the 3 action steps that are going to get you to take to get that task done? This one you can do weekly, monthly, daily, whenever you feel like it. This is a fun one that I've recently just started. It's a little letter to fear. This is something that I've started doing right before I post something on social media. And it's really just kind of shining light on darkness. And it reminds me a lot of Judgment Detox. And, you know, when you catch yourself being judgment, you shine, I think, bring it to the altar, shine light on it. Really, you know, like if a kid is scared of a monster in the closet, you open the door, you shine the light. It just takes that fear away. So with the Dear Fear, it's really just as simple as, Dear Fear, you know, I'm really nervous that people are going to judge me for posting about coaching. I know that this is all in my head. I don't care what people think, but just letting it like free write for a few minutes and letting all that fear out, and then ending it with love. Like, I know these people won't judge me. I know that this is all in my head. These are my family. I know they will support me, you know, love me. But designating like your own little journal for it has been fun. I'm also a journal junkie over here. If you can't tell, I have like 8 different journals. And then highly recommend reading Judgment Eat Judgment. And all right, accountability partners. So this was a little activity we did do at Super Saturday, but it's really just kind of surrounding yourself with like-minded people. You know, we've said this many times before, but you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. If you are constantly surrounding yourself with people that are, you know, negative or eating unhealthy or not working out or coming up with excuses, you're going to eventually like sink down with them. In Rachel Hollis's book, Girl Stop Apologizing, she was saying today that you should always be the smartest, or you should always be the dumbest person in your group, because you're always going to want to be learning from other people. So same thing with this. Like the activity we did at Super Saturday was, you know, what is your strength with vital behavior, and then get paired up with people that have strengths in, you know, working out or sending invites. And then the 3 of you or 4 of you can really like partner together to help push each other. You can have a group message, set up coffee date, lunch dates, or even just Zoom meetings. Like, I love seeing when Shannon and Brienne do Zoom meetings, because they're literally like north and south of the United States, but they're like such great support system to each other. So schedule, knowing when your doors are open for business and when you're out of office is been really helpful for me to know that I don't always have to be working. Knowing that if I work, like my Mondays now, I feel like I'm working more from like 11 to 8 versus, you know, feeling like I have to start working the second I wake up to the second I go to bed. And knowing what my week looks like before the week even starts, or knowing what tomorrow's going to look like before I even go to bed, will also help you want to get up in the morning and know that, okay, I don't have to be like perfect beach body coach from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. I have not found my perfect calendar, so whether you like online or on paper, it's really whatever is best for you. And then knowing how many hours you're going to be working per week or per day and scheduling that out, but also making sure that you're scheduling in family time, or scheduling in, you know, when you're going to do your personal development or when you're going to do your workouts, because it will just take that pressure off of knowing that it doesn't have to be all day. And it's like, for me, when I do my workouts, it's like, okay, I can do my workout from 6 to 7 in the morning, and that will also add in my scheduled post about it. And then I know I have all day to not talk myself out of not doing it. So schedule it when is going to be best for you. And then also, when are you going to complete the activities on the tracker? Rituals. This is really just the fun little 3 or 4 minutes to get you in the zone of working. A little ritual I did before getting on the Zoom call was I started my diffuser, I chugged some water, And I really just like shook it out just to kind of get those nerves out. You can put on your favorite song, dance around, you can set a timer and know that, you know, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. And once that 5 minutes goes off is when I like start working. Drink water or energize. You can light some sage, a candle, or a diffuser. Or you can do a small house chore. Like I felt like I was always, not always, but sometimes I felt like if I had laundry waiting, I was like, oh my God, like it's just piling up. If I set a timer for 5 minutes and I fold as much as I can, I know that by working my business, I've now let go of that like house and knowing that it's a balance of getting everything done. And last thing is your mind doesn't know past or future, it only knows now. So making sure that whenever you're doing any of your personal development, you are keeping it in the present. That's why a lot of these are I am. It's not I'm going to, or it's not I was. It's I am, because it's putting you in this moment now. And remember to have fun. Putting on music. I know we talk about, you know, always listening to audiobooks or podcasts, but make sure that you're still having fun and putting music on. You know, maybe if you have a 15-minute drive to work, it's 2 songs, and then the rest of the time you're listening to an audiobook, but making sure that you are having fun in there as well. That way you don't have any guilt or resentment towards working on your personal development. And that is what I have for you. Anybody have any questions? Don't close this chat out yet. I want to read what people wrote. Yeah, I love these. Awesome, cool. So let me know if you need any help with any of these little activities. I just love them so much. I can just do PD all day. All right, I think Ryan has control of ending this call, but thanks guys for joining.
Bye guys. Thanks, Dom. Nice job.
Bye. Thank you.